for balanced growth?
I do, but I think it's important to take a little bit of a trip back down memory lane and look at how things developed over the past 10 or 15 years. So at one point, when the town was developing its early stages, there needed to be more incentives to get developers to come here. And so, like Tim referenced, at one point the town was subsidizing developers. And that is true of all towns that don't have a lot of growth. They need to attract that growth in order to drive their economy to move forward. So at one point in our town history, we had to subsidize and really incentivize that growth. Then we got to a point where it was like, whoa, there's a lot of growth here. We have a lot of people coming. And then some people started to say, whoa, we have a lot of traffic and we have a lot of issues that are starting to develop from that growth. And so the town started to take a little bit of a different approach and say, well, we don't really need to subsidize growth anymore. We're in demand. We can sit back and we can set the design standards that would allow for the certain types of projects that we need, but also making sure that the developers are paying their fair share in the sense of investing in that infrastructure. So that would mean road widenings along frontages and greenways and path widening and infrastructure improvements and storm and sewer improvements, which is what we see now at planning board. When developers come, they have a lot of improvements that they have to make, which is also one of the reasons why developers say it can be very expensive to build here. So the reason why I mentioned the subsidization to where we are now is when we're talking about balanced growth, we have to look at, well, where are we now and where do we need to be in the next 10 years? And if in the next 10 years, what we want to do is start to prioritize some of the holes that we have in maybe services or commercial, I can tell you we need more commercial, and I can tell you we need more housing. But I'll tell you also that with more commercial and with more housing is going to come more traffic and is going to come more demands and more services. So the key word is balance. It's something that I talk about a lot. I'm going to run out of time. I could talk about 4 minutes on this. But I'll say that at the end of the day, we're going to have to prioritize what we need moving forward very quickly.